So it's been a week since the Switch 2 launched, and oh my god, have we had a great time. Switch 1, when that dropped, it was really cool. I was part of the Nintendo UK community. We had a group chat. We were really hyped for the upcoming release, talking about all the games and what we were going to do, and then it got delivered and I was just playing Zelda all the time. And with the Switch 2, obviously it's been Mario Kart Worlds that we've been playing instead, and that's been a hell of a lot of fun. There is so much new added in. Yes, there are some things that we have in Mario Kart 8 that are not in Worlds, but we can still play Mario Kart 8 on the Switch 2, so I don't think that's like a huge issue. Overall though, the console, the Joy-Cons are smoother, which is really nice. Yes, I am certain we will be seeing Joy-Con drift. I think it might take a little bit longer just because of the rubber seals that they've got set up this time around look a little bit better at keeping the dust out, but we will get the dust in. It will cause problems. I don't think, however, that we're going to have the grinding dust from the joysticks, which was also an addition with the Switch 1. So I think in this case it's just going to be your own household dust and hair and whatever other muck. So if you keep on top of your cleaning, if you keep things a bit low on the dust levels, it should take quite a while, which means that we'll be out of warranty for sure when we start seeing Joy-Con drift. Game-wise at launch, I have to say they probably could have done with a couple of more first-party games, but then again, we look back at the Switch 1's launch first-party, and it was Breath of the Wild and 1-2 Switch. And here we have Welcome Tour and Mario Kart World. Yes, Mario Kart World definitely does not have as much content as Breath of the Wild, so it is going to be it's not going to fill the gap for as long. But also, Donkey Kong Bonanza comes out pretty quickly, so it's not like we've got a huge gap. Unlike with Breath of the Wild, getting to the next game, I can't even remember what the next game was, but it was quite a while before I picked up the next game for the Switch 1. I have almost exclusively played the Switch 2 since launch. I have played a little bit of the PlayStation just to play Marvel Rivals. I really would like to see Marvel Rivals come to the Switch 2. I think it's actually feasible. I think everything that's on there, the graphics, the power, is working out. The Switch 2 has become our home for playing Fortnite because of mouse mode. The mouse mode is so good, by the way. If you haven't tried it yet, if you do play Fortnite on console, and you have a Switch 2 and you haven't tried it on the Switch 2, you will find that the draw distance, the pop in, all of that is the same as on the PlayStation 5. But now you can play it with mouse controls. They are a bit finicky. And it's one of the things that I have with it. So like in mouse control, you've got your left and right point clicks, which is only actually one click. This is still acting as an R button. But then you need to be able to touch all these buttons and do this. So you're basically sat like this, tapping in the different buttons. It is really annoying. I need to get a 3D mouse print that solves that problem, because god, it's a pain in the ass. The voice chat is pretty cool as a feature. I definitely like using it, but Discord is better. I'm just going to say that right now. It probably was obvious to everybody. Discord is better. The one good thing from a streaming point of view is if I use game chat, everybody can see who's talking, and I don't need to do any extra overlays. Whereas if we're doing Discord, I need an overlay to show who's talking. And that is the only extra fiddle. It's less intensive on my streaming platforms. But for those of you who are just, playing the console and you're not streaming or creating content, I'm going to be honest, if you've got Discord, use Discord. The microphone's pretty cool, but the noise cancelling causes heavy tinning sounds, and if you remove the noise cancelling, it picks up every single thing, and including its own fan, and that's really no. It's also really weird because sometimes it's actually it just sounds fine, and sometimes you get the tinny effect. So that's a bit. I think there's probably updates coming to fix that, to be honest. The other thing, we picked up the Joy-Con charging grip. This has been a really cool addition. So first of all, it's very straightforward to just add your grips in, job done. But the key here is that you get those back buttons. That's your GR and GL. This is the cheapest way to get that. You don't need to buy the Pro Controller. The charging grip is pretty cheap, and then you can charge your Joy-Cons while you're gaming, which is great. Comfort wise, I think they could have done with a bit more curve around here, but obviously they couldn't because of the magnetic lock-ins. If it was just sliding down into rails, it could have. So it's not perfectly comfortable. The Pro Controller is going to be more comfortable, and that's the extra cost you're paying for, of course. Game-wise, we picked up Street Fighter 6. That was a lot of fun. This is a game key card. I didn't realize that when I bought it, so be aware of that. That you're going to have to download the whole game, but at least it's tradable. We also got Cyberpunk 2077, which is completely on the cart with no additional faffing needed. So I just have to ask here is like, why is this a game keycard when this whole thing fits? Do you know how big this game is on like the PC or anything else? And they made it work on the Switch. And then we also got Bravely Default, which is also a game keycard. This is really fun. This is a great upgrade. So for a week on, I have played mostly Mario Kart, let's be honest here. And I've played a lot of Mario Kart. We have tested some of the updates, and the updates are actually really good. And that's pleasing. On the go, most games are not running at 120 frames per second yet, which is a bit of a shame. I would like to see that. The graphics, 4K on the TV is very freaking nice. The HDR is really freaking good. It is a stark jump up from the Switch One days. You can tell when you're playing like Breath of the Wild or Tears of the Kingdom on there, you can see quite quickly those differences. Same with Pokemon, the differences are there. So overall, first week on, I am really liking this console. It has become my go-to pickup. So the Steam Deck has just stayed plugged into the dock, and I'm only using that for when I'm having to film at the moment, which just says a lot. I think though that's also because of what I've got here to play. These are games that I really have always liked, so that's not a bad like compromise. Do I think that the cost is going to go down? Not for a couple of years. In fact, I will be surprised now that they hit the 350 million sales. I will be surprised if the cost ever comes down. With something like that, that's an argument for Nintendo to just keep the cost and just release alternative consoles and all the rest of it. I do think we're going to be seeing different prints and all of that of the consoles coming up. But I think that'll be next year. I think for now, up to the Christmas season, we're going to get all of these fun things. Talking about that, I kind of feel that while it has launched, I think if you haven't picked it up yet and you're not sure, I would wait till nearer the holiday season and get it then. And the reason why I say that is games like Mario Kart World are clearly getting some free updates across the rest of this year. Some of the other games feel like they're still missing a little bit. And then overall, the general experience, we know that Nintendo's going to be collecting our feedback and there are going to be updates. So I think that you'll find that the Christmas updates that will be done will give you a much better experience. But that's not to say that right now it's a freaking great experience. And so if you're having FOMO and you really just need to get the console, get the console. And if you are happy to wait, I would wait till Christmas. You'll have more games to pick from and it will be just a bit more of a bigger experience. But that's my opinion. Let us know in the comments below. Did you pick up the console? How are you finding it? Are you enjoying it? Is this your favorite console? Have you completely skipped out on stuff because of all of the propaganda that was out there? And I called it propaganda because if you have never read the PlayStation EULA or the Xbox EULA, they too can brick your system and delete your account and do so much worse if it's on Xbox, because you can lose all of your Microsoft accounts, which means your PC is also just done. So like people were pushing stuff without pushing the whole story. It's really freaking annoyed me. We're going to do a video about that. I'm going to show you the bits of the other EULAs so you can understand that this is actually a standard thing. And then I'll also show you some court cases which forced these behaviors to be reversed, but not the legal text removed from their documentation. So, you know, we'll have a bit of fun with that. That's another video though. We'll be live on Sunday afternoon with some Switch 2 over on Twitch. If you want to come and play, hang out with us, join us there. We're going to do a bit of Splatoon 3 with the new update because the servers were broken yesterday, and some Mario Kart World, and some Fortnite. Full shebang! It's going to be great. Yeah, so, you've all been great. I've been Nate, and until next time, keep it geeky.